Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Meropol and we welcome you back to kindergarten, especially kindergarten literacy. I hope you had a wonderful vacation and now we're back ready to listen and learn and read lots of great books. Before we start our story today, let's get our bodies nice and still and quiet. Our mouths will be quiet and voices off. Hands will be to yourself. Eyes will be looking at all the illustrations, and there's many to look at today. You'll be listening today with your ears for lots of sentences that will be put together to tell a story. Find a place to be comfortable and your feet are still and quiet. Now your brain is going to be thinking today about animals and what they do during the winter. You know that your heart will be caring and showing respect to your families and to your friends and to your teachers and to your wonderful schools. So today, we're going to learn about animals that travel to warm places. That's called migration. We're also going to learn about animals that like to sleep. Some sleep for a week, some sleep for many weeks, but they're in a deep sleep, and that's called hibernation. And some animals, they just change the color of their fur and grow more fur. I think we're ready. You're going to like this book today. Bear Has a Story to Tell. Written by Philip Steed and illustrated by Aaron Steed. They both have the same last names because they're a husband and a wife. Bear has a story to tell. I want you to look at this first page because it's significant. You're going to see it again. Here we go. It was almost winter and Bear was getting sleepy. But first, Bear had a story to tell. Mouse, would you like to hear a story? Asked Bear with a yawn. Oh, I'm sorry, Bear, said Mouse, but it's almost winter and I have many seeds to gather. Bear helped Mouse find seeds on the forest floor. And when they had finished, Mouse said, "See you soon," and he tunneled underground to wait for spring. Bear took slow, sleepy steps through the forest. Fallen leaves crunched under his feet. "Hello, Duck," said Bear, sitting down to rest his tired legs. "Would you like to hear a story?" "I am sorry, Bear," said Duck, "but it's almost winter and I'm getting ready to fly south." "I will miss you, Duck," said Bear. He raised a paw to check the direction of the wind. What a good friend Bear is. "I'll miss you too," said Duck, and off he flew. The sun was heavy and hung low in the sky. Bear's eyelids were getting heavy too. He counted colors to stay awake. 3 pink clouds, 2 red leaves, 1 green. Oh. "Frog, hello," said Bear. "Would you like to hear a story?" "I'm sorry, Bear," said Frog, "but it's almost winter and I have to find a warm place to sleep." Bear dug a frog-sized hole between 2 evergreen trees, and then he tucked Frog in under a blanket of leaves and pine needles. "Thank you, Bear," said Frog. "I will see you in the spring." Bear leaned against the old tree. He stretched and yawned and scratched his belly. I wonder if Mole is awake, he thought. Ooh, I like this page. Look how vertical it is, up and down. Mole, are you there, Mole? Mole was already asleep. Good night, Mole, said Bear. The first winter snowflake began to fall. I guess Bear found a place to have a deep sleep. Many months passed, and the sun returned. It melted the snow, woke the trees. Bear rolled out into the green grass. It's spring, he said. Now I can tell my story. But first, Bear thought he brought Mouse an acorn. Thank you, Bear, said Mouse. Mouse was hungry after a long winter. Welcome home, Duck, called Bear. You must be so tired from your journey. Bear showed Duck a shady, muddy mud puddle that he found. Ducks like mud puddles. Bear placed Frog in the sunshine till he was warm and awake. Frog opened one eye and then the other. Good morning, said Bear. Bear and Mouse and Duck and Frog waited all day for Mole to wake up. Finally, Mole poked his nose out into the moonlight. Mole, said Bear, would you like to hear a story? Bear gathered his friends. He sat up straight, cleared his throat, puffed out his chest, and with all of his friends listening, Bear could not remember his story. It was such a good story, he said, hanging his head. But winter is a very long time for a bear to remember all about my story. The friends sat together for a quiet minute. They gave him a minute, too. Then Mouse said, maybe your story is about a bear. And Duck said, maybe your story is about the busy time just before winter. I think there should be other characters too, suggested Frog. Like a mole, said Mole. And a mouse, and a duck, and a frog. Bear sat up straight again. He cleared his throat. He puffed out his chest. And then he began his story with, it was almost winter and Bear was getting sleepy. Wow, what a great story. Wasn't that cool how the author started his story? It was almost winter and Bear was getting sleepy. Same image, same sentence at the beginning and at the end. I like that story. Well, let's get busy with our response page. Today, you will have the directions on the front because today we want you to draw and cut out a door for the cave. And then we're going to put a bear in the cave and talk about Bear a little bit. So let's cut a big curve. Now you can draw your curve as big or as little or as wide as or as narrow as you want. But there's the door inside the cave. Now we need to add Bear. So Mrs. Meropol drew Bear earlier, and I'm going to go back over how I drew him, but I'm going to pick this up for now so we'll have some working space. And we're going to take Bear, and my bear was already drawn, but you're going to draw yours the best you can. I'm just going to give you some ideas. I'm going to put Bear right here over on this side. Now my bear is going to be lying down, and I'm going to start here. at the top of his body with his fur coming down. Now remember, he's sleeping, so his legs are curved sort of under him. And his other legs and paws are going to act like a pillow for him. And here's his head. Remember, he has round little ears. And he has a nose and a mouth. And Mrs. Meropol is going to add, excuse me, his eyes. And remember, he's sleeping, so his eyes aren't open. Now my bear is brown, so I'm going to add brown fur. Now remember, your bear can be black bear. It could be a polar bear. Now, something interesting about bears is that some bears have a long sleep for a couple weeks, and some sleep even longer for a couple months. But before they sleep, they eat lots of food to keep them not hungry. So they like berries, and he can find them in the forest, and I bet he could bring some in case he did wake up. And of course, he does like grass. I did some research to find out what bears like to eat. Believe it or not, they do like to eat flowers. So maybe he found a flower earlier and brought it in. But they do eat flowers. And they do eat things called roots from trees or from bushes. So I'll put some roots over here. So there's Bear in his cave. Now remember, he's sleeping for a week or two or longer, but it's going to be winter. So I would like for us to add some details to show that it's winter. Now I cut out some round circles and, excuse me, and I'm going to put the round circles to be snowflakes on top of my cave. Because the snow comes down during the winter and probably covers a lot of the cave on the outside. And I'll put some snowflakes, and you can design your snowflakes any way you want, because no one snowflake is alike. And one more over here. My snowflakes are almost drawn. And I'm going to even put some snowflakes up in the sky. So I know that this is winter, and I know that the ground is here, covered with snow as well. But we need to add a sentence. And we know that Bear, he does sleep, a long sleep. Some people use the word hibernation, but today I'm going to put a sentence. I'm going to start my sentence with an image instead of a word of bear, because that's what the story is about. And then I'm going to write, we wrote the word and we would like for you to cut it out on the strip, which will say Bear sleeps. And then one of your sight words is in. So we'll put the word in next to sleep. Bear sleeps in. Well, we know it's not the fall. That's when he gets ready for winter. And we know he wakes up in the spring and he loves the summer. Make sure we add a period to our sentence. Bear sleeps in winter. I like this story. I hope you did too. Have a great day.